there, Ernie here. So, May 1981. I wasn't even 11 years old yet, just a mere 10-year-old boy. I knew who Sean Connery was, only because of James Bond. And outside of Bond, I've only seen maybe two films starring Sean Connery that weren't James Bond movies. One of them being the 1970s disaster movie, Meteor. And then there was Time Bandits in 1981. Classic film if you've not seen it. And then there was, I guess there's three. Outland. Peter Hyams' Outland. Now, Outland, when I saw it back when it was on VHS, or it might have been cable. I'm pretty sure it was cable the first time I saw it. I was not a fan of Westerns. And I was very much into sci-fi fantasy. So, needless to say, when I first saw Outland as a child, I really didn't like it because I thought it was kind of dull and boring. It was sure the film took place in space, but where were the lasers? Where were the spaceships and all that fun stuff? So it wasn't until many years later that I actually saw it again and actually appreciated the film for what it was, and I could actually get into the whole Western motif of it all. Now, Outland, which was written and directed by Peter Hyams, is essentially has been equated to being, I guess, High Noon in space, where in the film a marshal has uncovered a drug trafficking conspiracy, and he has every intention of quelling that conspiracy, destroying the drug ring, and taking down whoever is involved, no matter how high it goes. And in the end, he ends up standing alone because nobody wants to help. So yes, in many ways, it is kind of like High Noon, but it is clearly, definitely, very much a Western. The Hyams originally envisioned this as a Western, and then they decided, because of the popularity of Ridley Scott's Alien, they opted to move the location to space. This time on the moon of Jupiter's moon of Io. And as the film unfolds, it very much feels like a Western. It just happens to take place in outer space. It's kind of interesting that the characters use traditional modern day weapons like shotguns, and it really very much feels like you're in the future. It's not flashy. It's very like this mining colony feels like just any other mining colony you might find on Earth. It just happens to be in outer space, and they have to deal with the environment of being in outer space. And Sean Connery is great as Marshal William T. O'Neill, and then Peter Boyle also stars, and he plays Mark Shepard, who is the facilities general manager, and he is the villain of the piece. So the black hat and the white hat are pretty much set up, and then it's just a matter of when these two go head to head, and just the way the situation unfolds, you kind of you never forget the fact that you're on another planet, or in this case a moon, but the whole Western motif is very much there, feels very much there. I mean, even in fact, the police headquarters have swinging doors, which I thought was a nice touch. Connery is really, really good as O'Neill, as I said, and for me, it was a very different role from James Bond. I clearly, is like pretty much at the time I probably see anything that Sean Connery was in, but I probably didn't see that much at all until my later years, probably into my late teens, early 20s, when I actually started discovering other films like, say, Robert and Marion, or Wrong is Right, or Longest Day, or films like that. And I really started to appreciate Sean Connery's work outside of James Bond. But Outland was probably one of the first that I actually discovered his work beyond Bond. And at the time, I wasn't that into it. But as I got older, I was. And now, having rewatched it just recently for the first time, probably in maybe 15 or 20 years, I really appreciated it. Peter Hyams' Outland. It's a because now I can actually like get into westerns and their tropes and the stories. So Outland is a very entertaining little compact thriller, western thriller, and led by a great cast, which included, as I mentioned, Connery and Peter Boyle, but also stars Francis Sternhagen, James B. Sicking, Clark Peters, Stephen Burkoff, and John Ratzenberger. And it's very like a well put together, well edited film, and it's almost like it's a calling card for Hyams because just a few years later he would do the big screen adaptation of Arthur C. Clarke's 2010 Odyssey 2, which was 2010, the year we made contact. And as when you see the film and some of the visual effects, I'm wondering if the same people did the effects, but you can get ideas like, hey, it's he knows how to shoot Jupiter, so let him do 2010. So Peter Hyams' Outland, I would have to give 3.5 stars out of 5. It's a entertaining western that takes place off planet. It features some great characters and a great lead performance by the legendary Sean Connery. So, Outland, 3.5 stars, definitely worth checking out. If you like this review, please hit that like button below. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to my channel so you can be notified when I do so with new retro reviews. And be sure to hit that bell button because that actually tells you when I do. So have you seen Outland? What did you think of Outland? What are your favorite Peter Hyams films or Sean Connery films? Please comment below and let me know. And until next time, my friends, see you at the movies.